Diane in Denmark here. Hopefully a fun video for you today. I've got my clothes swap haul. I made a video last week and I showed you that I was decluttering some of the items from my wardrobe which weren't working for me as a Dressing Your Truth type 1. Maybe the colours were off, or maybe it was just something that doesn't suit my style 1-4. And I showed you my cards and I was getting ready to go to the party. So today is the video where I show you me going to the party. I've got a small bit of footage from the party. I would love to film more of these things, but I'm in somebody's private home. And as I've mentioned before, when we're at these clothes swap parties, we're kind of, you know, we're immediately trying on things, so we're in a state of undress. But anyway, I've filmed a little bit, so I'm going to run that now, and then after that I shall share with you the fantastic finds that I got this time. So anyway, let's run the first video. And we are on the road again. Vibeka's driving. We're in the Fiat 500. We've got everything in the back, including a funny hat. And also, I don't know if you can get a view of that, but Vibeka's food for tonight. So we are off to a new venue actually for our clothes swap party tonight. A lady called Martine who's hosting for the first time, so that's always exciting. And there are a couple of people coming that we haven't met before, so goodies galore. We're sending up the intention that we're going to find some great T1 and T2 stuff. So anyway, we'll get to the party and we'll check in with you on the other side. Okay, see you soon. Okay, a quick look at the books. Lots of Danish books and English books, and then we've got underwear and sportswear, handbags, and in this room we've got all these items are things which you wear on top of your body. So that is, we've got pyjamas, we have got tops, we've got jumpers, we've got a whole stack of stuff. Some of the ladies are moving house and actually moving back to the States, so they are downsizing, getting rid of things. Sports clothes, then we've got shoes, and these fantastic shoes, many people have had them, they keep coming back. All the sparkly ones, some gold flats, maybe I'll try those. And then up here on the piano we've got fancy hats and scarves. Note that we'll be needing those tonight because it's really turned fantastic weather now. And scarves. And I won't go next door because the ladies are eating and I don't want to film them. But anyway, this is the before. Okay, so let's get to it. I also got some non-clothing items. I showed you this last week, Millie Molly Mandy book. I loved Millie Molly Mandy when I was a child, so I'm really enjoying rereading that. And also, I picked up an eyeshadow palette. Remember at these clothes swap parties, we swap anything, lightly used you know, shampoo or perfume, jewellery. I've had a lot of things at clothes swap parties. I mean, today's top, that was a clothes swap party item. Also my jeans. Anyway, I got this nice eyeshadow palette from Rimmel. This actually belonged to Vibeka. And there's quite a few colours that I can see, the ones she's been using, and these turquoise ones, I think those are going to work really well for me, and the blue, so that, and also some of the pinks, so I'm pleased with that. And remember, if you're worried about makeup, you can clean up the makeup using alcohol. You know, there are various ways to do it, and if you're squeamish about that, don't go for it. You know, just stick to clothes and accessories and you know, handbags, things like that. Anyway, I also got a few things which I haven't hung up. I've got look at this, a pair which kind of goes, and don't worry, I'm not going to be wearing it with the gold leather jacket. I showed you how I'd repainted my leather jacket gold the other day. I got a pair of gold jeans, and these are from H&M, and they're just my size of 38, so those are going to be fantastic. And I also picked up a pair of running tights. I'm on the lookout for running tights that aren't black. It's really difficult to find ones in the shops which are navy. Well, you can get kind of you know, fluorescent ones, but I'm not into that. Anyway, I picked up a really nice pair of Nike running tights. and they are navy with a bit of orange through them. So that will make a nice change from, I've got one blue pair at the moment, and I'm holding on to one pair of black running tights because they're thermal ones. And you know, I live in Denmark and it can get pretty cold here. So I'm really pleased with the running tights and the jeans. And I got one sweater, one jumper, and I was wearing this the other day in a video, and I really like the blue because it goes with my eyes. The only thing is it is very fluffy, like Angora, and a wee bit kind of scratchy, so I have to wear it layered with something else. So I'll see if I hang on to this. I'm not quite sure, but I do like the colour of it. And just because, oh, well, we'll get to that in a minute. I've got something fun to tell you at the end. So anyway, let's get into what I actually got from this swap. The really fantastic items, and I'll take them one by one. Ooh, I got this beautiful gold shrug. Do you see it with gold sequins? Really, really pretty. And it's a very high-end Danish brand called Julie Fagerholt, or Julie Fagerholt, as you would probably pronounce it in English, heart made. And this is a beautiful, really beautiful item. I'm looking forward to wearing this over like a plain white dress in the summer, or even just wearing it with a kind of plain white outfit and my white jeans if I'm going into town in the evening. So I'm really pleased with that. And then, all right, take the next two. I'm really pleased with the things that I found this time. Not only were they T1 colours, as you can see here, here's my wee cards, everything matches, but also my style. I'm a style 1-4 in the Dressing Your Truth system, and which means that I gravitate, you know, I love, you know, polka dots, but it's really, I had difficulty finding polka dots during the winter, but I love stripes. And I found this beautiful top, T1 colours with nice stripes on it. And this is from a Swedish brand called Filippa Co, which I love. Really good make. So that was a find. And another brand that I like called Koss, also Swedish. And this is a really nice sweatshirt. But not, I don't generally wear sweatshirts because I find them a bit too kind of loose and baggy. But this is a slightly different style to it. So you'll see me wearing these in videos soon. I'm already thinking I'm going to layer this with one of my white jackets. That'll look very nice if I want to make it a bit more smart, you know, with a nice necklace and one of my white jackets. And then another stripy one. Oh, hold on, I'm just kind of, sorry. And you know me, I just use my telephone to make these videos, and you're perched on the end of the bed, so don't fall off. This is another one, stripes with pink and a light red, so that's going to be really nice. Nice cardigan by, I think it's a Primark one, The Atmosphere. So it's probably come from one of the British ladies who were at the clothes swap. At the clothes swap this time, let me see, we had Danish lady, lady from, where were we from? Ireland, England, quite a few Danes. Oh, anyway. Right, next two items. This beautiful, beautiful blouse. White blouse. As type 1s, we can wear crisp white things or winter white. And this is a really beautiful blouse. It's like broderie anglaise, and it's got the little holes and little circles. So that is just perfect. I'm really looking forward to wearing this. It's going to look really nice and fresh. And another little cardigan shrug in this beautiful turquoise colour. You know, and this turquoise colour is one of my favourite colours. It goes quite well with my blue eyes. And the make, Jésiré, that was one of my favourite makes about, what, 30? Yeah, it must be 30 years ago when I used to work for a judge at the Court of Justice in, you know, the European Court of Justice. I used to work for the British judge, Sir David Edward. And a lot of my office wear I would buy from Jésiré, which was the brand, it's an offshoot of another brand, which has escaped my mind. Anyway, And actually when my husband and I got married, my going away outfit was a really snazzy creamy coloured suit, trouser suit from Jésiré, which I loved, and I wore and wore and wore. And actually I had the jacket until recently, and then it was time to let it go after all those years. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to pairing that. Again, it'll go beautifully in the summer with white jeans or over a fancier dress. So that was fantastic. Right, and here comes there's always a kind of funny story at these clothes swap parties. This is a jacket which came back to me. Now, this is a jacket which is a Danish brand called Jackpot Carly Glue. Which is a kind of Carly Glue and Jackpot is not really my style. It's a bit too kind of T2 style and very, you know, lots of flowers. I'm not so into flowers unless it's a kind of random pattern, which makes sense now that I've started doing Dressing Your Truth. It kind of all makes sense now. And this jacket, I bought this jacket when my daughter, who's now 17, she must have been about 1.5 years old, because I remember wearing it and when I used to go and pick her up from nursery, some of the ladies there said, "Oh, I really like your jacket, you look really smart." So I've had this jacket for like, let's say 15 years. And it's a machine washable one. It's actually faded a bit. You can see it has been a bit more pink. Anyway, it's done well for surviving so long. And I had worn this jacket and then went right off it. It was too kind of nicey and too twee. So I put it into one of the first clothes swap parties that we had. And this will be like, what, 2 or 3 years ago. And I was thinking about it the other day, thinking, oh, whatever happened to that jacket? I couldn't remember what I'd done with it. I thought maybe taking it to a charity shop or, you know, giving it away. And Kate, you know, my friend Kate, who's a type 2, she brought it back to the clothes swap party this time. And I was like, Kate, that's my jacket that I'm going to take it back again. So and it still fits, it looks fantastic. So you'll be seeing me wearing this soon. So isn't it funny how things that, you know, I loved once, and now I know why I love this jacket, because it's T1 colours, and this is almost like a T1, T2 crossover. We have a lot of crossover colours between all the types. There's plenty of information on Dressing Your Truth lifestyle about that. It's really fun. But it's just, it's funny how some things were kind of meant for you. So that is now back in my closet after all these years. Anyway, on that note, I often get questions for people because, you know, you've seen me wearing my outfits on YouTube and posting on Instagram. And some of the clothes that I have, that I wear, I've had them for like 20 years, or, you know, maybe it's a necklace that I've had for 20 years. And a question that I get a lot is, how do I keep my clothes looking so good? There was a question the other day about one of the jumpers. Let me just grab it. Yeah, you've seen me wearing this jumper. And somebody, Neve out there, she had bought this jumper too, and already her one is looking a bit worn. And she was asking me, you know, how do I get... Well, I've mentioned this before. I don't wash everything after one wear. Especially things like sweaters, jeans, trousers, jackets. I'm not washing them every time. It's really bad for the environment and it's not good for the clothes. So we hang things up to air. That's the easiest way to do it. And also we don't have a tumble dryer. So we're not putting things into the tumble dryer, that they're being hung up to dry, and I think that really also helps a lot. And I know somebody commented in another video saying every time she removed the lint from the tumble dryer drawer, she thought, yeah, all that lint, that was half her clothes, so they were left behind in the machine. And it is like that. It's really kind of sucking the life out of your clothes. So maybe you want to think about that. Don't wash every time, you know, unless it's, you know, visibly dirty or stained or stinky. There's no need to be washing every time. You know, None of this overwashing, because it's using up electricity, your precious time, water, you know, not good for the environment. And if you do have old things that you like and want to kind of spruce them up a bit, so here's a case in point. This is a jumper that I've had for, I don't know, 10 years, 8 years, 10 years. Also showing that this is a very T1 item, which I bought years and years ago, and I love this one. If you find, this one doesn't pill actually, but if you find you've got a jumper or a sweater, you know, anything kind of fluffy which has started to pill, and a little comb, you know, one of these little combs where you can kind of scrape it, just make sure that you're always scraping in the same direction. Don't go backwards and forwards. You don't want to make a hole in your sweater. But those are great just to take off any little lumps and bumps you get, especially on things like woolen coats. Quite often you might find it here, you get little, you know, the little bumps of wool. So a little comb is always great. Anyway, last item, because there's always a fun item that I find at these clothes swap parties. And okay, wait for it. Now this was, remember we've just had Easter, and people were clearing at Easter stuff. Now, look at these two. Hello. And my husband said to me, oh my goodness, what have you brought home? And they are pretty awful. Now look at them. What do you think these are? Because everybody at the clothes swap party picked them up. And the lady who brought them, I won't mention her name, she thought, she got them in a shop, and she thought they were chocolate bunnies covered in foil, and look, it looks like they've been covered in foil. Everybody thought the same, and then she thought they feel a bit weird. They are ornaments, and I don't know if somebody has decorated them themselves or they were bought from a shop like that, but I have to say they're pretty ugly, but I just couldn't resist. Nobody else wanted them, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take them, and they're going to be in the next little video. So you can look forward to seeing these probably on my Shiny Sink posts on Instagram next Easter. We'll need to find some names for them. You know, like we have Tweet and Sparky, the lovebirds, and I've got the two sparrows that Vibeke gave me that you see on my Instagram post right now. They're called Peter and Paul. Two wee birdies sitting on a wall, one named Peter, one named Paul. So, well, we need to get some names for these wee bunny rabbits. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up there. Oh, and one more thing. I also picked up a plain blue shirt, you know, which I like for layering with, for example, where's that jumper that I just had, the sweater, this one here, that I like layering. And one of the ladies said, oh, she had brought it with her. It's got a bit of a stain on the front. And I said, you know what, it doesn't matter, you know, and I can try and get the stain out, one last try. And if not, it doesn't matter, because I would be layering it with something else. So even if something isn't quite right, you can always find some use for it. Or, you know, you could, if you've got a stain on a shirt, you could also dye it. You know, let's refashion these things. I've done plenty of videos on refashioning. Hold on, just so you can get a last look at the clothes behind me, the wonderful things. I've done lots of videos on refashioning, and I show you how to change up, you know, if you've got a piece of jewellery that's just not working for you, you can use some nail varnish, or you can use leather paint, you can dye things, you can sew them into something else. So anyway, let's not waste what we've got. Either use it, or, you know, give it to your local shelter. Maybe there's you know, maybe there's a ladies' shelter or refuge near you that could do with some old, you know, with the clothes that you're not using, or shampoo, makeup that you're not using. You know, if you're not using it, pass it on to somebody else who will love it. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to get going, and all I have left to say is live long and prosper. May the Danish sugar be with you, and you will be seeing all of these and outfits very soon. Okay, bye for now.